Hello, welcome to Thursday's class this week. Thank you guys for letting me push it to today. Yesterday was like a crazy day with clients and everything, and I just thought I could do a better job if I moved it to today, which was much less busy for me. So I appreciate the flexibility. Let's see, today we're using mostly dumbbells, but there is one exercise. I've got my long band attached up pretty high. I have like an overhead thing I can attach it around. Most people probably won't have something like that in their house. If you do, awesome. If not, you can attach it to like a vertical post and have it basically at any height. Just start thinking about that. It is going to be our in our first group of exercises, the last one, but we're going to be doing like a pushback like this. So just think if you can arrange that in any way in your house. If you can't, of course, I do have a dumbbell alternate version for you, so don't stress about it. I just want to give you a little bit of variety if you do have some kind of setup that you can work with there. All right, so I think we are like a minute in there, so let's get into our usual stretches, stretching warm up. So feet are hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward. You guys know the drill here now. Reach down, up, tip, and twist. Okay, come nice and wide with the feet. Same thing, reach down, tip, and twist. Okay, all the way narrow. Okay, back to hip distance apart, but then externally rotate your toes. Knees go out over the toes as you reach down. And then internally rotate the toes. Perfect. All right, first exercise, we're going to do our reverse lunge where you step backwards, but we're going to add a rotation today. So if you want to use a little dumbbell, you can. I'll show you that version. All right, so you can hold your dumbbell sideways like this. You're going to twist into the hip of your, I'll say your standing leg, the leg that's not stepping back. So you step back, drop down, twist the dumbbell over by that hip. Okay? So drop back. Again, if you need to just shorten up a range of motion and just be kind of like that, or full range would be getting that back knee all the way down to the floor. All right, let's keep going. So 12 reps each side. So you're finishing off all 12 on one side first. All right, once you get your 12, switch it up. And 12. All right, let's get your other light dumbbell to go with it. So you have two. And we're going to do our Arnold presses. We've done these before, but not for a while. So it's the ones where your elbows are in. Palms are in towards your face as well. Press up, rotate your hands out, and then bring it back in by the time you get down. so we are going to do, so like I said, first when I came on, I have my bands, my long band with handles set up high. That is ideally, if you have that set up, you can do that. You can also go, if you have something vertical, if you've done those chest presses and stuff like that, you can anchor it that way and just do your pushback like that. I will show you, so if you don't have any bands or kind of attachment that you can set up there, you're just going to do that overhead tricep that we've done a fair number of times. I'm just trying to get you another tricep exercise, a little bit of variety, okay? So if you have to use the dumbbell, you can go for it. If not, you're going to keep your elbows locked in by your sides and then just push either down or back, whatever your setup allows for. You're just hinging from the elbow and push down. 11 and 12. All right, take a little breather. That's our first round. All right, back to the beginning with our reverse lunge with a twist. Again, so if you're going to add the weight, make sure you're going your full depth, your full range of motion before you add the weight. Work on the depth of it. If you can't get down all the way, just keep going with body weight. And 12. All right, other side. And 12. All right, getting the other dumbbell to go with it. We've got our Arnold presses, so elbows in, palms in towards your face, rotate as you push up, and slowly let it come down. And 12. All right. Remember, if you don't have a band or any setup that you can anchor it, you're doing your overhead tricep like that. And to the bands, if you got. Keep those elbows tucked in and just straighten your arm, either down or push backwards if you got that kind of vertical setup. And 12. All right, that's 2 down. A little water break. We're going for our third set here. Move this way. Mat slips when I step back. All right, twist into the hip. Switching sides. And 12. All right, Arnold presses. Here we go. Ten, 11, and 12. All right, so then we have our tricep one, so choose whatever version you need to, and go. And 12. All right, done with that one. All right, take a little breather here again. And we're moving into the second circuit. All right, we're gonna do, just like we did last week, our 3D reaches here, okay? We're really working on the balance again. So, single leg, and then the first one is reach out to the front and to the back. Make it as big as you can and still be successful with the exercise. Like I said, if you need to have, like I said past weeks, if you need to hold on to something just very lightly for help with your balance, you can, but don't hold on for dear life. Make that foot and ankle do the work. Okay, get to your 12 and switch it up. And 12. All right, again, same as last week, we're building on here. We did our jump squats. So if you need to have zero impact, that is totally okay. You can just do a body weight squat. If you're okay with just a little bit of impact, just a little bit, so make sure you push your hips back and jump like that. Don't have to get off the ground very high, but that little bit of impact is so good for our bone density. Or if you can do like a full squat and a big jump up and land, just make sure when you land, you're cushioning that movement, okay? That land. All right, so choose your version and go. 12 jumps. Perfect. All right, and then we're gonna go at a new one for you today. You want to do very lightweight with this one. My elbows are going to be at a 90-degree angle. My palms are facing up. Think about it like you're holding a serving tray, okay? And you're going to keep your shoulders down and back. You're just going to push that tray out in front of you. Pull it back in. Push it out. Pull it back in. Like so. Try to keep your shoulders down, away from your ears. A little bit of weight goes a long ways here. Working those forearms, shoulders, even your core is involved in this one. And 12. All right, breather. And we're back to our 3D reaches here, going laterally, frontal plane. So all the way to the right, all the way to the left, back and forth. Lost the balance there. It's all about finding that place to look at too that's not moving. That's spotting with your eyes. All right, switch it over when you get to 12. Ooh. Guaranteed every time I take my eyes off that spot. And 12. All right, we've got our jumps. Should get our heart rate up too. All right, squat down and jump. Cushion that landing. Definitely gets the heart rate up. All right, get your light dumbbells. We've got our tray pushes here. Remember, elbows at 90 degrees to start. Keep those forearms kind of parallel with the floor. Push it out. Think about your shoulders here, so keep your shoulders away from your ears. When you pull back, squeeze between your shoulder blades. And 12. All right. Quick sip of water, and we're going to round 3. All right, we've got our 3D transverse plane. Rotational. These exercises are great for the arches of the feet, as you can feel. So when you twist this way, your arch opens, and then it closes as you kind of collapses as you go this way. So for people who have high or flattened arches, great exercise, all 3 of these. Even better if you're doing it barefoot, if you're doing it for that purpose. You don't get the assistance from the arch support in your shoe. All right, close up the hips, open up the hips. Feel that foot going open and close. Perfect. All right, done with those. We got our last of our jumps. All right, cushion those landings. I can't stress it enough. Don't want to be landing with straight legs. And 12. And the tray pushes. All right, here we go. 12. Whew, that burns. All right, quick breather. That's it for that group. We have our core stuff, but it is standing today, so don't necessarily need your mat. All right, so I will actually show the first set at least with dumbbells. So a beginner, you would just hold your empty hands overhead. At more advanced, you can hold some light dumbbells. So you're gonna hold the weights up the entire time and just do a high knee march. Okay, so try to keep those arms perfectly still. Okay, marching. Lots of balance here. You can't use your arms to correct yourself. Abs nice and tight. Excellent. All right, so we've got our horizontal wood chop, which is the one coming straight across. You can do it with a band. I'm going to do it with a dumbbell today, so it doesn't matter if you don't have a band. So heavy dumbbell, toes are pointing straight forward, but fairly wide stance. You're going to do that shift and twist, straight across. Ten, 11, and 12. All right, and the third one, we are back to our windmills, and today we are finally at 12 reps per side, okay? So still nice wide feet, toes forward. Actually, you can turn your toes out just slightly on this one. Arm is up, reach down, and come back up. See if I feel like I'm drowning today. My sinuses are still draining. I'm getting better. I don't feel terrible until I start moving around and everything gets loosened up. 11 and 12. All right, other side. Let's get it. Keep that arm straight towards the ceiling. So you're coming away from your arm as you tip down and then back up to it as you come back up. And 12. All right, a little breather. All right, so we've got our overhead, so keep those hands overhead. If you want to hold your dumbbells, you can. High knee march. Get that knee nice and high. All right, let's get your heavier dumbbell. And we've got our horizontal wood chop. Here we go. Shifting and twisting. And 12. All right. Back to the windmills. 12 on each side if you got it. Obviously, if you need to hold back and stick at the 8 or 10 that we've been doing the last few weeks, that's fine. As long as you're challenging yourself, let's go. Get to 12 and switch. And 12. All right, water break. We got our last set coming up. Here we go. Decide if you want to hold the dumbbells or not. Still pretty hard, even just with your hands. 12, 12. All right, let's go chopping some wood. Don't know how effective this would be for chopping, but that's what it's called. And 12. Okay, and the last of our windmills, last exercise for today. Arm up. You can hold a very light weight on this one, but again, this is one of those that's decently hard with nothing, depending on how tight you are, of course. And 12. Other side. And 12. Done. Done with the workouts. With the exercises, I should say. Come down to the floor. Stretch your legs out in front of you. We'll do the stretches here where you just lean forward, get that low back and hamstrings stretched. Okay, bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees fall open. Okay, 90-90 position, both knees 90 degrees. Lean forward. Okay, switch sides. child's pose. Sit back on your heels and walk your hands up. Okay, come up to all fours. Arch your back up. Drop it down. Okay, half kneel. So whatever knee is on the ground, that arm goes up and tip over. Okay, switch it up. Okay, come up from the floor. Find somewhere to hold on for balance and then pull that leg up behind. Okay, other side. Okay, and then grab your hands behind your back. Pull your shoulders back. All right, that's it. Good work, ladies. Thank you for joining me. We should be back to normal schedule next week, Monday, Wednesday, 12 o'clock, unless something weird happens. But I'll let you know. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.